friends. Welcome to MusiCity Kids. We're here to help you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. My name is Tamara with Love in a Big World, and have we got a show for you. We've got some movement and music and financial literacy, science, health, and so much more. I'm glad you're here. You know, today we're going to be talking about honesty. And honesty is speaking and acting truthfully, living the truth. These days that we're in are very strange. And there's so many people feeling so many different things. And it's important for us to be honest about our emotions. So whether you're feeling sad or scared about this pandemic, whether you're missing your friends, or whether you're really happy to have so much extra time at home, it's important to be honest about what you're feeling and process that with your caring adults at home. So today we'll be exploring that. First up is my friend Jacob with Hand, Eye, Body. Take it away, Jacob.
All right, today I'm going to show you a move you can do with one tennis ball or any ball that you have, whether it's a juggling ball, a bean bag, an orange. Here's a fun move you can work on, and it's called the figure eight. So here's what it's going to be. We're going to make a figure eight, a sideways figure eight, which is also called an infinity symbol. And we're going to go like this in front of our body. But here's what's going to happen. We're going to take the ball and pass it to the other hand, like that. Now we're doing it with the other hand. So put them together like this. We're going to go in, out, pass. In, out, pass. Each time still going in the figure eight pattern, right? In, out, pass. In, out, pass. In, out, pass. See if you can do it without me instructing, just go by the motion. And that's it. This is going to be building on a move that we'll learn next time called a curl, which is a little more complicated, but a lot of fun. So practice this first and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Jacob. Am I doing this right? You know, one of the things that I have found, friends, is when I'm processing some big emotions, it's good for me to keep moving. That helps me get my body in check with what's going on in my head and in my heart. Sometimes I just need to work out those big emotions. So maybe that'll help you too. And Jacob gave us some great tips of how we can get moving today. Next up is my friend Courtney and his daughter Ever from Knowledge Bank.
Dad, you forgot something really important.
I did. What did I forget?
You forgot the scavenger hunt.
You are exactly right. We always like to start out our education with the Super Money Banks and Money for Kids with the Super Money Scavenger Hunt. Kids love it. Ever loves it. And so I have kind of done you guys a bit of a disservice. So what we're going to be doing in the next few segments. So we're going to get started today. We have limited time. We're going to do it together. How this works is we've designed a scavenger hunt that's used specifically for the Super Money Kid Banks. Every discovery results in a new money lesson and a new tip for using the banks. So Ever and I are going to get started. We're going to do it right here.
Can I say something?
Are you ready?
Yep. I want to say something.
Go for it.
So you guys, you kind of know that we don't have all the people that were really in the scavenger hunt. If you haven't seen that video of when we did a Facebook Live, but we don't have two people, which is my mom and my grandma. My mom is downstairs and my grandma's downstairs too. So it's just going to be me and my dad. We're apparently going to do the scavenger hunt for you guys instead of my grandma and my mom.
But we can handle it, right?
But we can handle with only two people.
So let's jump into the first question.
Let's get it.
How many dollars?
Can I say it?
You want to read it?
How many dollar signs are pictured?
Printed
Printed on the
Super Money Kid Bank.
Super Money Kid Bank.
So
we're going to start counting.
She's going to count the dollar signs.
I'll count them out loud so y'all can hear.
You don't have to count them out loud. All right.
So you guys, they're basically 25 dollar signs.
Because remember, every discovery has a money lesson. So the reason why we want you to know how many dollar signs are on the banks, it's related to the same reason we want you to know where your money is. We want you to know how many dollar signs are on each bank, and we want you to always know how much money is inside of your banks. We want to make sure you know how much money you have and that you have a plan for your money. Okay, so Ev, we have time for one quick question, one more quick question. So the next one is, what does it say? It says, which bank has the most dollar signs?
Oh, yeah.
Ev, so which bank has the most dollar signs? Save. Save has the most dollar signs, and that's intentional because we want you guys to know that saving for our future selves is a priority. So we wanted you to know that saving is a priority. Saving for our future selves is a priority. We only had time for 2 questions today, but we'll do more every week to make sure you understand those money basics. All right, so Ev, anything else you want to add? All right.
Back to you, Tamara.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Ever. That was awesome. It is so important for us to learn how to be honest with our money. And as I was listening to what Courtney and Ever have to say today about money, it reminded me of a historical figure that you probably know about. His name is Abraham Lincoln. And legend has it that Abe was known for being very honest. When he was a young boy, he went to a store, purchased something, and he received too much change, left the building, went back in, and returned the extra money. That's how he got the nickname Honest Abe. So it's very important for us to be in tune with what's happening with our money. Next up, my friend and yours, Janet from Janet's Planet.
Welcome to Janet's Planet, where we're traveling at the speed of thought. Come on in, you guys. Today, we are so very honored to be speaking with Commander Chris Hadfield, who was the first Canadian to go for a spacewalk and the first ever Canadian commander of the International Space Station.
One question I have is, what advice would you give to kids like us that want to be astronauts like you?
The thing to think about is there's a big difference between want to and turning yourself into. You know, it's not like so they're just going to someday say, we want you to be an astronaut. And you go, oh, gee, I had no idea. I never thought of getting ready. Instead, it's more like my dream is maybe someday to do something. If you decided, I'm going to be a music teacher, okay, this weekend, how am I going to start turning myself into a music teacher? Well, I'm going to learn how to sing harmony above a song. I'm going to practice it 200 times this weekend. By Sunday night, I'm going to know how to sing harmony to that song. And you're not a music teacher yet, but by Monday morning, you have started to change yourself. And you're more of a music teacher than you were on Friday night. And if you just take little steps like that, you slowly turn yourself into what you're dreaming of being. And that's how you become an astronaut.
So, what inspired you to become an astronaut?
The very first 2 people, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, walked on the moon the summer that I was turning 10. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, how cool is that? There are 2 people walking on the moon. And for me, that was immensely inspiring. That's what inspired me, and it still inspires me today.
What is the best thing about being on the International Space Station, and what's the hardest thing?
The hardest thing is remembering everything. Imagine if somebody this afternoon taught you how a certain life preserver worked. Someone taught you that today, and then they never taught it to you again. But now 6 years from now or 12 years from now, you're getting ready to land in your spaceship, and you have to remember, okay, if we have to do an emergency abort into the water, what did that instructor tell me 12 years ago about how to use that life preserver? Because it might be the difference between life and death. The best part about space flight was going outside for a spacewalk, because you put on your huge spacesuit, you grab onto the hatch, you pull yourself out into space, and suddenly you're just there holding on with one hand to the outside of a ship, alone in the universe. And if you look over here, the whole world is just pouring by at 5 miles a second. You go from Los Angeles to New York in 9 minutes. And if you look the other way, it's the whole universe. The blackness of the universe is right there. And you're in the universe with the world by yourself. It's magnificent.
It's really, really cool. I liked the advice he gave to all the kids that wanted to be astronauts like him, to mold yourself into what you want to become.
When you think of astronaut, you just think walking on the moon and all fun and games, but it's really a lot of hard work.
There's gonna be challenges.
And that's the view from Janet's planet.
Thank you, Janet. That was amazing. Always something more that we can learn about science and the universe. As we're talking about honesty today, I want to remind you of a quote from Mark Twain. He said, "When in doubt, tell the truth." And that includes telling the truth to ourselves about how we're really feeling. Here's a book that my kids and I used to read all the time when they were little. It's called Today I Feel Silly and Other Moods That Make My Day. One thing I love about stories is that it helps us unlock what's going on in our heads, in our hearts. So whether you read this book yourself or read it to one of your siblings or cousins who are younger than you, take a moment and dial in to what's going on with your mood today. Next up is my friend Kateri with our music moment.
Hi Tamara, hi everyone. This is Kateri. I'm a flute player, singer, songwriter here in Nashville, and really glad to be here today. Glad to talk about honesty, such an important thing to talk about. I wanted to share that something I've been thinking about in terms of honesty is how important it is to be honest with ourselves, and how we sometimes forget that, like, oh, we have to be honest with others, and which is important, but first we have to know how we feel about something, and also being okay with how we feel, knowing that it's okay to feel upset or frustrated or sad, or worried sometimes, and knowing that it's okay to feel any of those things, and once we know how we feel, then we can open up and talk about it with others. So yeah, I was thinking about that and wrote this little tune. Where's that gonna go? Honestly, living honest, the best way to be. I promise in time you'll see it pays to be honest. So don't waste your time filling your mind with worries about what others may think. Just take a deep breath, be true to yourself and be honest. There might be times where we want to cry, but we don't want anyone to know. Well, nobody feels fine all of the time. That's just part of being human. Oh, honestly, being honest takes bravery, and it's not always easy to see, but it pays to be honest. So don't waste your time filling your mind with reasons why lying is better. take a deep breath. Stay true to yourself and be honest. Just take a deep breath. Be true to yourself and be honest.
Thank you, Kateri. That was beautiful. And I'm so impressed. I didn't know you played guitar, girl. I knew that you played the flute, but you sing and you write and you play guitar. That's amazing. And you're right. Using music is a wonderful way to process what's going on in our heads and in our hearts. It helps us figure out what's going on inside and express it. Art is a gift. So whether it's music or painting or drawing, practice some of that art today and process your emotions too. Next, my friend Dr. Dawn teaching us more about health.
Hey, Music City, Dr. Don here with my friend Chuck, and we are here today to give you a little health tip. And today we're talking about something that is affecting a lot of people right now, and that is allergies. That's right, seasonal allergies, lots of pollen in the air. It bothers the eyes, itchy eyes, runny nose, dry cough, scratchy throat, all these things. That could be a little seasonal allergy problem, you know. And a lot of people take some over-the-counter meds, which is completely fine, but you know what I like to say, food is medicine. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips on things you can do to put in your diet that may also help your allergies. So one thing we talked about last time was vitamin C, which can be helpful, and we talked about strawberries and kiwis being a really good source of that. However, those foods also have something called bioflavonoids. Now, the bioflavonoids actually will help bring down the symptoms in the eyes, and the nose, and the lungs, but there's one specific one called quercetin. Now, quercetin is also fun to say, but it is also more fun to have in your diet if you have allergies. Now, where can I get quercetin in my diet? Well, one great food is purple onions. Now, a lot of people don't like onions, but if you can handle them, then it has a lot of bioflavonoids, and it's really good for the sinus symptoms that are really associated with some allergies. Now, you don't want to cook them too much, and sometimes it's hard to eat raw onions, but what you can do is take little petals and use them with a dip to sort of help get that into your system and help out the sinuses. Another really good source of quercetin is something called caperberry. Now, not a lot of people are familiar with this one, but you can get them in any grocery store. Now, they can be really small. They make larger ones, but I usually go for the little ones. But they're a really good source of quercetin, and they're really salty too. And they have a good flavor. Now, these have great loads of quercetin. Now, another good food to have is local honey. Now, you can buy honey right off the grocery store shelf, and it can come from anywhere. You really don't know. But if you can get local honey, something from your area, what happens is the bees take the pollen from your area. They make honey from the pollen in your area. You take the honey and you put it in your mouth, and you get little bits of the pollen that allows your body to get used to the pollen, and you don't have as many symptoms. Now, it works for a lot of people. Some people it does not, but you know, nothing's 100%. But these are just little tips to help out with, you know, some seasonal allergy stuff. So remember, we have the strawberries and the kiwis, we have the purple onions, and we have the caperberries, and then we have local honey. Now, if you can, you know, take that to the grocery store, use these tips to help yourself out. I hope it helps out, and I think you guys are doing a great job during this whole quarantine, and I hope these help you out. So thanks so much, and looking forward to seeing y'all next time. Back to you, Tamara.
Thank you, Dr. Don and Chuck. What great tips for dealing with our allergies. I've got those allergies. a lot of us here in Middle Tennessee do. So these are some wonderful tips of what we can eat because food is health. Next, my friends Kenya and Chanel.
Hey, my name is Kenya. My name is Chanel. And so today my thing for this video is going to be dance because I can't stay in the house all day. I gotta go outside. During this quarantine and this coronavirus is just making everybody depressed and people want to go places, but we just gotta stay in the house, and that's a lot for kids to do, and we can't go to school. Sometimes my mom will be like, sit down somewhere. I'll be like, but I can't. And then she'd be like, tell me to go outside, and it's like just too much. So we all trying to handle it our own ways, and I'm 13. So
I'm 14, so
it's like hard for us to just be still all the time, and we can't go nowhere in our cars down the street to the store without being scared of where the coronavirus is going to be. So yeah, let's get into this video. And thank you for watching. This is what we do. We just practice TikToks over and over and over again just to do some outside because we love to dance. And thanks for watching. Hey, my name.
Thank you, Kenya and Chanel. I love your dancing. And it is so good to know that quarantine is hard for you, and yet you're using your time well by getting outside and getting moving. I'm so proud of you girls. Thanks for sharing your dance with us. Next is my friend Jen with some more ideas for movement, because like I said, when we're dealing with these big emotions like we are through quarantine, whether you're feeling sad because you're not seeing your friends except maybe through FaceTime, or whether you're just tired of being in the house like Kenya and Chanel were talking about, it's important for us to keep moving. So take us away, Dr. JPOP.
Hey everybody. So I want to be honest with you. I haven't wanted to work out every day during this quarantine. I know there's just been some days where I felt really tired or really down because we still had to stay inside, and I just haven't felt like moving. But because I know moving makes me feel better, I still try to do something every day. But instead of making it a really hard workout, what I'll do is I'll pick 3 things that I know I can do to at least get my juices flowing, okay? And I want to share 3 of them with you today, okay? Now, I want you guys to do these with me, so if you can get on the floor, that would be awesome. The first thing we're going to do is use our body to make a bridge, okay? So I want you to lay down on your back, and you're gonna put your legs together, and you're going to lift your bottom up off the floor and count 1, 2, 3, and then let the bridge go down. Okay, we're gonna do that 2 more times. You ready? The bridge goes up. 1, 2, 3, and the bridge comes down. Last time, the bridge goes up. 1, 2, 3, and the bridge comes down. Okay, that's the first one. Now the next one that we're gonna do is fly like a superhero, okay? Now of course you're not really gonna fly. We're going to pretend today, okay? So I want you to lay on your stomach, and you're gonna put your arms out and spread your legs, and you're gonna lift your arms and legs up toward the ceiling like you're flying, and come back down. 2 more times. Up to the ceiling, and back down. Last time. Up to the ceiling, and back down. Okay, so we made a bridge with our body. We flew like a superhero, and now we're going to bear walk, okay? So what I want you to do is you're going to go on your hands and your knees, and then you're going to stick your bottom up towards the ceiling like a bear walking on all fours, and you're just going to put your arms and your legs forward. Now, you can do this outside, you can do this on the pavement, you can do it on the grass if you want it to be really, really hard. But these are just 3 movements that I can do to make myself feel better, even when I don't feel like moving, okay? You guys have some fun. Back to you.
Yes, Dr. JPOP, I love that. So many good ideas for getting us moving today. And again, that movement helps us process all the big emotions we may be feeling inside. I want everybody to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Honesty is speaking and acting truthfully, living the truth. So be honest with yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least and 10 being the most. How are you feeling today? If you're at around a 5 or lower, you need to talk to some of your grown-ups at home and let them know what's going on. If you're 5 and above, that's good. Just keep processing. Maybe write in your journal. Get outside and move. Just keep working through this. It's a tough time for everyone, but we're in it together. And I'm so glad that you've tuned in to MusiCity Kids. We're here to help you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. I want to say a quick shout out to our friends who are watching on Battery Pop. We're so glad you've joined us. Spread the word. We'll see you next time. Remember, we love you and we're in this together.